Imagine waking up 6 months from now and realizing that your life has changed completely. Not because something magical happened, not because luck finally found you, but because you made one simple choice. You decided to give yourself just 6 months of discipline. That's it. No long-term commitments, no promises stretching years into the future. Just 6 months. And in those 6 months, everything changes. You start waking up earlier. You feel more energy. Your mind is clearer. You're eating better. Moving more. You've started reading again. Maybe even learning new skills. You're sleeping well. And most importantly, you feel proud of yourself because you showed up every day. 6 months doesn't sound like much when you say it out loud. But what if I told you that 6 months is long enough to build habits that last a lifetime? Long enough to lose weight, build muscle, save money, learn a new language, or start a business. The truth is, 6 months is more than enough time to become a different person. But here's the catch. It only works if you show up every day, even when you don't feel like it, especially when you don't feel like it. Discipline isn't about being perfect. It's about showing up, doing the work, and sticking with it, even when it's hard. So today, I want to ask you something. Are you ready to change your life? Are you ready to give yourself just 6 months of discipline for a completely different life? Let's begin. Section 2. Why discipline is the key to everything. Discipline gets a bad rap sometimes. People think of it as punishment, as something strict or harsh. But the truth is, discipline is freedom. It's the ability to do the things today that your future self will thank you for. Think about the people you admire most, the ones who seem to have it all together. They wake up early. They eat well. They work hard. They stay consistent. What separates them from everyone else? Not talent, not luck, not even intelligence. Discipline. Because discipline allows you to make choices that align with your goals, no matter how you feel in the moment. When you're disciplined, you stop waiting for motivation to strike. You stop needing someone else to push you. You stop making excuses. Instead, you take action. Every single day. And over time, those daily actions compound into massive results. Let me give you an example. If you commit to walking 30 minutes every day for 6 months, by the end of that time, you'll have walked over 900 kilometers. You'll feel stronger, healthier, more confident, all from a small, consistent effort. Or imagine saving $10 a day. After 6 months, that's over $1,800, enough to pay off debt, invest in a course, or book a flight somewhere new. Discipline turns tiny steps into giant leaps. And here's the beautiful part. Discipline builds on itself. Once you start showing up for yourself consistently, it becomes easier. Because you start to trust yourself. You start to believe in your own word. And that belief becomes unstoppable. So yes, discipline is the key to everything. But it starts with a decision, a commitment, a promise to yourself. Just 6 months, that's all. Section 3. Why you've failed before, and how this time will be different. Let's get real for a second. You've probably tried to change before. Maybe you started a diet, or joined a gym, or downloaded a meditation app, or set some big goal at work. And maybe, after a few weeks, you stopped. Why? Because change is hard. Because discipline feels uncomfortable. Because old habits are stubborn. And because without structure, even the best intentions fall apart. Here's the thing. Failing before doesn't mean you can't succeed now. It just means you didn't have the right system in place. Most people try to change too many things at once. They go all in, burn out fast, and then quit. Then they beat themselves up for it. But this time, we're going to do it differently. We're not going to overwhelm ourselves with 20 new habits. We're going to focus on just a few key areas and build from there. We're not going to rely on motivation. We're going to design our environment so that discipline becomes automatic. We're not going to wait until we feel ready. We're going to start today. Because the difference between success and failure isn't willpower. It's strategy. And here's ours. Start small. Stay consistent. Focus on systems, not goals. Because discipline isn't about trying harder. It's about setting yourself up to win every single day. Section 4. Your morning decisions. Set the tone for your whole day. Your morning sets the tone for everything that follows. If you wake up late, hit snooze 3 times, rush through breakfast, and start your day feeling behind, you already lost. But if you wake up with purpose, move your body, drink water, and plan your day ahead, you start strong. That's why your first hour of the day is the most important hour of the day. It's not about perfection. It's about intentionality. Even 5 minutes of movement in the morning makes a difference. 5 minutes of deep breathing. 5 minutes of gratitude journaling. These small wins create momentum. They remind you that you're in control, that you're showing up for yourself. So here's your challenge. For the next 6 months, start your day with intention. Get up within 15 minutes of your alarm. Drink a glass of water. Do something physical, even if it's just stretching. Eat something healthy, and spend 5 minutes planning your day. That's it. These habits don't require hours of effort. They don't require expensive tools. They just require consistency. And over time, these morning rituals will change the way you feel about yourself. Because when you start your day with discipline, you carry that energy into everything else. Section 5. Discipline starts with your habits. Habits are the invisible architecture of everyday life. They shape your health, your productivity, your relationships, and your happiness. And the good news is, habits can be designed. You don't have to wait for motivation to strike. You don't have to force yourself to change overnight. You just need to build better habits, one small step at a time. Here's how to do it. First, identify the habit you want to build. Is it drinking more water, going to bed earlier, reading more books, exercising regularly? Pick one, just one. Then, make it easy. If you want to read more, keep a book on your nightstand. If you want to exercise, lay out your workout clothes the night before. If you want to eat healthier, prep your meals in advance. Make the path of least resistance lead to the behavior you want. Next, tie the new habit to an existing one. This is called habit stacking. For example, after I brush my teeth in the morning, I'll drink a glass of water. After I finish dinner, I'll take a 10-minute walk. After I sit down to work, I'll turn off my phone notifications. By anchoring your new habit to something you already do, you make it stick. Finally, track your progress. Use a calendar. Put a check mark every day. You complete the habit. Visual progress keeps you motivated. And remember, missing a day doesn't mean failure. It just means you keep going. Because discipline isn't about being perfect. It's about being persistent. Section 6. The mindset shift that changes everything. Discipline isn't just about doing the work. It's about believing in the process, and that requires a mindset shift. Most people try to change their lives by focusing on the outcome, losing weight, getting promoted, paying off debt. But true transformation comes from focusing on identity. Who do you want to become? Because when you focus on becoming a certain kind of person, someone who eats well, someone who reads, someone who shows up early, someone who takes care of their body and mind. The actions follow naturally. So instead of saying, I need to lose 20 pounds, say, I am someone who makes healthy choices. Instead of saying, I need to earn more money, say, I am someone who adds value and gets paid for it. Instead of saying, I need to find motivation, say, I am someone who shows up even when I don't feel like it. That subtle shift in language creates a powerful shift in identity. And once you start identifying with the person you want to become, living that life becomes easier. Because discipline no longer feels like a burden. It becomes a reflection of who you are. So ask yourself, who am I becoming? What kind of person would do the things I need to do every single day? Answer that question honestly, and you'll never struggle with discipline again. Section 7. Why small actions matter more than big goals. Big goals are great for inspiration, but small actions are what actually create change. A goal might be to run a marathon, but the real work happens in the daily runs, the early mornings, the sore muscles, the missed social events. A goal might be to write a book, but the real work is in the 500 words you write every day, even when you don't feel inspired. Goals give you direction, but discipline gives you momentum. So forget about massive transformations overnight. Focus instead on the tiny, consistent actions that add up over time, because that's where the magic happens. Let's say you decide to read 10 pages a day. In 6 months, that's over 1,800 pages. That's 6 or 7 books. Imagine the knowledge you'd gain. Or if you write 1 page a day, by the end of 6 months, you'll have a 180-page manuscript. That's the start of your book. Or, if you practice a skill for just 15 minutes a day, after 6 months, you'll be amazed at how much better you've gotten. Small actions compound into huge results. And here's the secret. The person who does a little bit every day ends up miles ahead of the person who waits for the perfect moment. Because consistency beats intensity. So don't worry about doing everything perfectly. Just do something every day. That's how discipline changes your life. Section 8. How to stay consistent when motivation fades. Motivation is like a fire. It burns brightly, but it fades quickly. Discipline, on the other hand, is like a furnace. It stays steady even when the wind blows. So how do you stay consistent when motivation disappears? Here are 4 strategies. 1. Create a ritual, not a routine. Routines feel mechanical. Rituals feel meaningful. Turn your daily actions into rituals. Light a candle before meditating. Play music while working out. Say a mantra before starting your day. 2. Remove friction. Make the right choice, the easiest choice. Lay out your workout clothes the night before. Keep healthy snacks in reach. Set up your workspace to minimize distractions. 3. Use temptation bundling. Pair something you want to do with something you should do. Watch your favorite show only while walking on the treadmill. Listen to a podcast only while commuting to work. 4th, track your progress. Keep a visual record of your consistency. Use a calendar. Mark off every day. You stick to your habit. Seeing that chain grow motivates you to keep it going. Remember, discipline isn't about forcing yourself to suffer. It's about designing your life so that doing the right thing becomes effortless. And when you do that, consistency becomes second nature. Section 9. Discipline and health, the foundation of a better life. If you don't have your health, nothing else matters. Discipline in your health habits, nutrition, movement, sleep, hydration, is the foundation of everything else. So let's talk about the basics. Nutrition. Eating well doesn't mean following a strict diet. It means making better choices more often. Fill half your plate with vegetables. Choose whole foods over processed ones. Learn to cook. Understand portion sizes. And allow yourself to enjoy food without guilt. Movement. You don't need to run a marathon to be healthy. Just move more. Walk daily. Stretch. Strength train twice a week. Find activities you enjoy. Dancing, swimming, hiking, yoga. Sleep. This is non-negotiable. Without quality sleep, your brain doesn't function properly. Your mood suffers. Your energy drops. Your willpower weakens. So aim for 7 to 9 hours a night. Create a bedtime routine. Limit screen time before bed. Make your room dark and cool. Hydration. Water is the simplest tool. For better energy and focus, start your day with a glass. Carry a bottle. Sip throughout the day. Don't wait until you're thirsty. These aren't complicated rules. They're simple daily practices that lead to massive results over time. And when you prioritize your health, everything else improves. You feel better. You look better. You perform better. You live better. Discipline in health isn't about being perfect. It's about showing up for your body every day. Section 10. Discipline in work. How to build career success. Success at work doesn't come from working the longest hours. It comes from working with purpose, focus, and consistency. Discipline in your professional life looks like this: showing up on time, being fully present, doing more than what's expected, taking initiative, learning constantly, managing your time wisely. Let's break it down. Time management. Most people waste hours every day, scrolling on their phones, checking emails randomly, and letting distractions run their schedule. Disciplined professionals plan their day. They batch tasks. They protect their time. Skill development. The most successful people never stop learning. They read industry books. They take courses. They listen to podcasts. They ask questions. They seek feedback. They improve every day. Reliability. Being someone others can count on is a superpower. When you do what you say you'll do, when you say you'll do it, you build trust. And trust leads to opportunities. Resilience. Work is full of setbacks. Projects fail. Clients cancel. Promotions don't happen. But disciplined professionals keep going. They adapt. They problem solve. They grow. Discipline at work isn't about grinding endlessly. It's about showing up with integrity, doing your best, and continuously improving. And over time, that kind of consistency builds careers that stand out. Section 11. Discipline in relationships. Building strong connections. Strong relationships don't happen by accident. They require attention, communication, and emotional discipline. Being emotionally disciplined means showing up for the people you care about, even when it's inconvenient. It means choosing kindness over reaction, listening more than speaking, staying committed when things get tough. Here's how to build discipline in your relationships. Communication. Say what needs to be said. Ask for what you need. Express appreciation. Conflict is normal, but handling it with respect is a skill. Presence. Be fully there when you're with someone. Put your phone away. Make eye contact. Show interest. Give your attention freely. Boundaries. Healthy relationships require boundaries. Know your limits. Respect others. Say no when needed. Protect your energy. Consistency. Relationships thrive on small, consistent gestures. A text. A call. A hug. Showing up regularly builds trust and connection. Empathy. Try to understand others, even when you disagree. Put yourself in their shoes. Respond with compassion. Discipline in relationships isn't about being perfect. It's about showing up with love, patience, and presence. And when you do that, your connections deepen, your support grows, your life becomes richer. Section 12. Discipline in finances. Taking control of your money. Money problems cause stress, anxiety, and even broken relationships. But financial discipline can change everything. It's not about having a high income. It's about making smart decisions with what you have. Here's how to build financial discipline. Budgeting. Know where your money goes. Track your spending. Set limits. Allocate funds for essentials, savings, and fun. Saving. Build an emergency fund. Aim for at least 3 to 6 months of expenses. Automate your savings. Treat it like a bill you can't skip. Spending. Buy what you need. Avoid impulse purchases. Wait 24 hours before buying anything over $50. Ask, is this helping my future? Debt. Pay off high-interest debt first. Avoid unnecessary borrowing. Live below your means. Investing. Once you're stable, start investing. Even small amounts compound over time. Learn the basics. Seek advice if needed. Financial discipline isn't about deprivation. It's about freedom. It means making choices today that give you options tomorrow. And when you take control of your finances, you take control of your life. Section 13. Discipline in learning. Becoming a lifelong student. Learning doesn't stop when school ends. In fact, the most successful people are lifelong learners. Discipline in learning means dedicating time to grow every single day. Here's how to do it. Read daily. Pick one book. Read just 10 pages a day. In 6 months, you'll have read 6 books. That's knowledge you can apply to your life and career. Listen to podcasts. Find shows that teach you something valuable. Listen during your commute, workout, or chores. Take courses. Online learning platforms offer affordable access to world-class education. Pick one skill and master it. Write regularly. Journaling helps you process thoughts, track growth, and clarify ideas. Even 10 minutes a day makes a difference. Ask questions. Curiosity fuels learning. Don't be afraid to ask for help, clarification, or mentorship. Teach others. The best way to learn is to teach. Share what you know. Explain concepts aloud. Write articles or videos. Discipline in learning opens doors. It expands your thinking. It builds confidence. It creates opportunities. And it reminds you that growth is possible at any age. Section 14. Discipline in mindset. Training your brain for success. Your mindset determines your reality. Discipline in mindset means training your brain to focus on what matters, respond with resilience, and believe in your potential. Here's how to build mental discipline. Gratitude. Start or end your day by listing 3 things you're grateful for. Gratitude shifts your focus from lack to abundance. Self-talk. Replace negative thoughts with empowering ones. Instead of "I can't," say "I'm learning." Instead of "I failed," say "I grew." Meditation. Spend 5 minutes a day observing your breath. Meditation trains your brain to stay calm under pressure and avoid reacting impulsively. Visualization. Picture your ideal future. Visualizing success programs your subconscious to work toward it. Mindful breaks. Take short pauses during the day to reset. Step outside, stretch, breathe deeply. Come back focused. Limit negativity. Reduce exposure to toxic environments, news, or people. Surround yourself with positivity. Mental discipline gives you control over your inner world, and when you master your mind, you master your life. Section 15. Discipline in action. Starting today. Now is the most powerful moment you'll ever have, because today is the only day you can actually do something. Tomorrow is imaginary. Yesterday is gone. Right now, you have power. So here's your action plan. Step 1. Choose one area to focus on. Pick one aspect of your life you want to improve. Health, work, relationships, finances, or mindset. Step 2. Identify one small habit. What's one small daily action that will move the needle in that area? Examples. Drink 1 extra glass of water per day. Save $10 every day. Read for 10 minutes. Call a loved one once a week. Do 5 minutes of mindfulness. Step 3. Set it up for success. Make the habit easy. Place reminders. Tie it to another habit. Remove obstacles. Step 4. Track your progress. Use a calendar or habit tracker. Check off each day you complete the habit. Step 5. Celebrate small wins. Praise yourself. Notice progress. Reward consistency. And above all, just start. Because the hardest part is always beginning. Once you start, the momentum carries you forward. And after 6 months, you won't recognize the person you used to be. Section 16. Remember who you are doing this for. At the heart of every act of discipline is a deeper reason. A reason beyond fitness, wealth, or success. It's about the person you want to become, the life you want to live, the legacy you want to leave. So whenever discipline feels hard, remind yourself, you're not doing this to punish yourself. You're doing this to honor yourself. You're not giving up things you love. You're creating space for the things you love more. You're not pushing yourself because you're not enough. You're growing because you know you're capable of more. You're not sacrificing for the sake of sacrifice. You're investing in a better version of yourself. And that version is worth every drop of effort. So when the days get tough, when you feel like quitting, when the old habits whisper in your ear, look in the mirror. Say to yourself, I'm doing this for me. And keep going. Section 17. You already have what it takes. You don't need more time. You don't need more resources. You don't need to be perfect. You already have what it takes. All you need is the courage to start, to choose discipline over distraction, to choose consistency over convenience, to choose the long-term reward over the short-term comfort. Because the person who sticks with it, who shows up even when it's hard, is the person who wins. And that person is you. So today I invite you to make a promise, not to me, not to anyone else. A promise to yourself. Give yourself just 6 months of discipline. No matter what, no matter how you feel, no matter what happens, just 6 months. And I promise you your life will never be the same. Section 18. Your journey begins now. This is your moment, not someday, not later, now. Because the only thing standing between you and the life you want is the decision to start. So take a deep breath, make the commitment, set your first small habit, and begin. Every journey of transformation starts with a single step. Yours starts today. And in 6 months, you'll be someone else, someone stronger, someone wiser, someone more confident, someone who knows what it feels like to show up for themselves. And that someone is you. Section 19. Building routines that stick. You've heard the phrase, success is a habit. But what does that really mean? It means that people who achieve great things don't necessarily have more talent or luck. than anyone else. They just do the same small things every day. They show up, so they follow through. They build routines that stick. And over time, those routines create results. So if you want to change your life in 6 months, forget about drastic changes and overnight transformations. Focus instead on building daily routines that support the life you want. Because when you get your routine right, everything else falls into place. Let's talk about how to do it. Understanding the power of routine. A routine is simply a sequence of actions you perform regularly. It's not complicated. It doesn't require special tools or motivation. What it does require is consistency. Your brain loves routines because they conserve energy. When something becomes routine, your brain stops thinking about it and goes on autopilot. That's why routines are so powerful. They allow you to make progress without needing constant willpower. For example, if you decide every morning that you might go for a walk, you'll often skip it. But if walking first thing in the morning becomes part of your routine, you'll do it without even thinking. Same with eating healthy, reading, saving money, meditating, or working toward your goals. Once it's routine, it happens automatically. So the key isn't to force yourself to work harder. The key is to design your life so that doing the right thing becomes easy. And that starts with building routines that stick. Step 1. Start small and be specific. One of the biggest mistakes people make when trying to build new habits is going too big too fast. They say, I'm going to wake up at 5 a.m., drink a green smoothie, run 5 miles, read a book, and meditate for an hour. And then by day 3, they're exhausted and give up. Instead of overwhelming yourself with a perfect plan, start small. Pick one area of your life where you'd like to build a better routine. Maybe it's your morning. Maybe it's your evening. Maybe it's how you manage your workday. Then, identify one small action you can take consistently. Make it specific. Instead of saying, I want to be healthier, say, I will drink a glass of water as soon as I wake up. Instead of saying, I want to be more productive, say, I will spend the first 30 minutes of my workday planning my tasks. Specificity makes success possible. So start small, be clear, and commit to showing up for yourself. Step 2. Tie it to an existing habit. The easiest way to build a new routine is to connect it to something you already do every day. This is called habit stacking. Here's how it works. Find a current habit you do without fail, like brushing your teeth, drinking coffee, or checking your phone in the morning. Then, attach a new habit to it. For example, after I brush my teeth in the morning, I will drink a glass of water. After I finish breakfast, I will write down my top 3 priorities for the day. After I turn off the lights at night, I will read 1 page of a book. After I sit down to work, I will silence my phone notifications. By anchoring the new behavior to something familiar, you increase the chances of it sticking. Think of it like this. Your brain already knows how to do the first part. All you're asking it to do is add one more step. And over time, that one extra step becomes automatic. Step 3. Create a visual reminder. Out of sight, out of mind. That's why visual reminders are such a powerful tool for building routines that stick. Place a sticky note on your mirror, reminding you to stretch in the morning. Leave your workout clothes laid out the night before. Put your journal and pen on your bedside table. Set a reminder on your phone to drink water every hour. Use a visible checklist on your fridge or desk. Visual cues trigger action. They remind you of your commitment, especially when your motivation is low. So ask yourself, where can I place a visual reminder that will help me stay consistent? Sometimes all it takes is seeing a simple note that says, "Don't forget, you promised yourself." Step 4. Design your environment for success. Your environment shapes your behavior more than you realize. If you want to eat healthier, but keep junk food in the house, you're setting yourself up for failure. If you want to read more but always leave your book in another room, you're making it harder than it needs to be. So take control of your surroundings. Design your space to support your desired routine. Want to move more? Keep your shoes by the door. Want to write every day? Have your notebook open on your desk. Want to save money? Set up automatic transfers to savings. Want to sleep better? Remove screens from your bedroom. Small environmental adjustments remove friction and make the right choice the easy choice. And when the right choice becomes the default, discipline becomes effortless. Step 5. Track your progress. Tracking your progress is one of the most motivating things you can do. It gives you feedback, shows you how far you've come, and keeps you accountable. There are many ways to track your routines. Use a habit tracker app. Mark off each day on a calendar. Write a short journal entry. Record a voice memo. Share your progress with a friend. Choose the method that feels easiest and most enjoyable to you. And remember, missing a day doesn't mean failure. It just means you keep going. Because the goal isn't perfection. It's consistency. And every checkmark on your tracker proves that you showed up, even on the hard days. Step 6. Make it enjoyable. Many people try to build routines using sheer willpower and burn out quickly. The secret to long-term success is enjoyment. If your routine feels like punishment, you won't stick with it. But if it feels rewarding, even fun, you'll look forward to it. So ask yourself, how can I make this more enjoyable? Here are some ideas. Listen to music while exercising. Light a candle while journaling. Watch your favorite show, only during your workout. Read a fiction book while eating healthy meals. Reward yourself after completing a week of consistency. Enjoyment creates momentum. When you enjoy the process, discipline becomes second nature. And when discipline becomes second nature, transformation becomes inevitable. Step 7. Give yourself grace. Building routines that stick is not about being perfect. It's about being persistent. There will be days when you miss a habit, days when you feel unmotivated, days when life gets in the way. And that's okay, because discipline isn't about never failing. It's about getting back on track, fast. So when you miss a day, don't beat yourself up. Just acknowledge it, forgive yourself, and return to your routine the next day, because the real power lies in the comeback. Every time you choose to continue, despite setbacks, you prove to yourself that you can be trusted. And that builds confidence that lasts a lifetime. The role of morning routines. Morning routines set the tone for the rest of your day. They determine your energy, your mindset, and your productivity. So if you want to build routines that stick, start with your mornings. Here's a simple framework to build a powerful morning routine. 1. Wake up at the same time every day. Consistency in sleep patterns improves focus and mood. 2. Drink a glass of water. Hydration jumpstarts your metabolism and clears mental fog. 3. Move your body. Stretch, walk, dance. Just get your blood flowing. 4. Eat a healthy breakfast. Fuel your body with protein, fiber, and good fats. 5. Do something for your mind. Read, journal, meditate, or visualize your day ahead. 6. Plan your day. Write down your top priorities. Know what matters most. This isn't about doing everything perfectly. It's about starting strong. And when you start your day with intention, you carry that energy forward. Evening routines. How to end your day with purpose. Your evenings matter just as much as your mornings. They determine the quality of your sleep, your stress levels, and your readiness for tomorrow. So let's build an effective evening routine. Here's a simple structure. 1. Wind down electronics. Turn off screens at least 1 hour before bed. 2. Reflect on your day. Write down one thing you accomplished and one thing you learned. 3. Prepare for tomorrow. Lay out your clothes, pack your lunch, review your schedule. Practice gratitude. List 3 things you're grateful for. 5. Get ready for bed. Brush your teeth, dim the lights, and relax. 6. Sleep on time. Aim for 7 to 9 hours of restful sleep. An effective evening routine helps you close your day with peace, not pressure. And when you end your day well, you begin your next day even better. Workday routines. Maximizing productivity. If you want to build routines that stick around work and productivity, here are some strategies. 1. Start with a plan. Before diving into emails or tasks, write down your top 3 priorities for the day. Second batch, similar tasks. Group similar activities together, responding to messages, making calls, doing creative work. 3. Take regular breaks. Step away from your screen every hour. Walk, stretch, or breathe deeply. 5. Limit distractions. Silence notifications. Close unnecessary browser tabs. Focus on one task at a time. 5. End your day with reflection. Ask, what went well today? What could I improve tomorrow? Productivity isn't about working longer hours. It's about working smarter, with intention. And when you build routines that protect your time and attention, you unlock massive potential. Weekly routines. Staying consistent over time. Daily routines are essential, but weekly routines help you maintain consistency over the long term. Here are some helpful weekly practices. First, Sunday night planning. Review your goals, set intentions, and plan your week ahead. Second, meal prep. Prepare healthy meals in advance to avoid last-minute unhealthy choices. Third, weekly exercise. Schedule workouts throughout the week and treat them like appointments. Fourth, financial check-in. Review your spending, savings, and budget. Fifth, mindset reset. Do something that inspires you. A podcast, a book, a motivational video. Weekly routines act like checkpoints. They help you stay aligned with your goals, course correct when needed, and celebrate progress. Monthly routines. Evaluating and adjusting. To truly build routines that stick, you also need to reflect monthly. Here's how. 1. Review your goals. Are you moving closer to what you want? 2. Assess your habits. Which ones are working? Which ones need adjustment? 3. Evaluate your environment. Is your space supporting your growth? 4. Celebrate wins. Take time to acknowledge what you've accomplished. 5. Reset and recommit. Start fresh each month with renewed energy and clarity. Monthly reviews help you stay focused on the big picture. They prevent stagnation, and they remind you that growth is a journey, not a destination. Bonus tips for building routines that last. Here are a few final tips to ensure your routines become lifelong habits. 1. Make it personal. Tailor your routine to fit your lifestyle, preferences, and values. 2. Involve others. Build routines with family or friends. Accountability increases consistency. 3. Stay flexible. Life changes. Your routines can evolve with it. Just keep the core principles. 4. Focus on identity. See yourself as someone who follows through, who shows up, who sticks with it. 5. Enjoy the process. Celebrate small wins. Progress feels good when you notice it. Remember, you're not trying to be perfect. You're trying to be consistent. And consistency over time leads to transformation. You already have what it takes. Building routines that stick isn't about having more willpower. It's about designing your life so that the right choices happen naturally. It's about creating systems that support your goals. It's about giving yourself structure so that discipline becomes effortless. And above all, it's about showing up for yourself every single day. Because that's how lives change. Not with grand gestures, not with sudden bursts of effort, but with quiet, consistent action, day after day, week after week, month after month. So now it's your turn. Pick one routine, start small, commit to showing up, and watch your life transform, 6 months at a time. Section 20. Creating accountability. How to stay committed when motivation fades. You've made a plan. You've built routines that stick. You've started showing up every day. But then something happens. Life gets busy. Distractions creep in. Old habits whisper in your ear. And suddenly, you're not doing the things you promised yourself you would do. That's when accountability becomes your best friend. Because discipline doesn't last forever on its own. It needs support. And that support comes in the form of accountability. So let's talk about how to build it. How to create systems that keep you committed, even when motivation fades. Because if you want to give yourself 6 months of discipline for a completely different life, you need to make sure you stay on track. And accountability is what keeps you there. What is accountability? Accountability means taking responsibility for your actions and having someone or something hold you to that responsibility. It's not punishment, it's not shame, it's simply a way to ensure that you follow through on the promises you make to yourself. Think of it like this. You wouldn't skip an important meeting with your boss. You wouldn't cancel dinner with a close friend without notice. You wouldn't ignore a deadline at work. Why? Because those commitments come with consequences. Well, your personal goals deserve the same level of seriousness. And accountability ensures that they get it. Because when you know someone is watching, when you know you'll have to report back, you're more likely to show up. Even when you don't feel like it. Especially when you don't feel like it. Why self-accountability isn't enough. Most people rely entirely on self-accountability. They tell themselves, I just need to be more disciplined. I should be able to push myself. I don't need anyone else. And while internal motivation is powerful, it's not enough on its own. Because when you're tired, stressed, or overwhelmed, self-discipline can fade. And when that happens, you fall back into old patterns. That's why external accountability is so important. Having someone or something outside of yourself that reminds you of your commitment makes all the difference. Because we are social creatures. We care about what others think. We want to avoid letting people down. We want to impress others. And we want to prove to ourselves that we can be trusted. So yes, self-discipline matters, but external accountability gives it strength. The power of a coach or mentor. One of the most effective ways to create accountability is to work with a coach or mentor. This could be a fitness trainer, a business coach, a financial advisor, or a spiritual guide. Someone who knows more than you, has walked the path before you, and can help you stay on track. A good coach does three things. 1. Provides guidance. They give you clarity when you're confused, strategies when you're stuck, and wisdom when you're lost. 2. Holds you accountable. They check in on your progress, ask the hard questions, and challenge you to keep going, even when it's tough. 3. Believes in you. Sometimes, when you doubt yourself, a coach sees your potential better than you do. And that belief can carry you through the hardest moments. Now, hiring a coach might not always be possible due to budget or time constraints. But even reading books by experts, listening to podcasts, or watching online courses from mentors can provide a sense of accountability. Because when you learn from someone who inspired you, you feel responsible to apply what you've learned. So whether it's one-on-one coaching or learning from role models, you're creating a connection that keeps you moving forward. Finding an accountability partner. If hiring a coach isn't an option right now, find an accountability partner. This is someone who is also working toward a goal, whether it's health, fitness, career, or personal growth. Together, you check in with each other regularly, share progress, and encourage one another. Here's how to make it work. 1. Choose the right person. Find someone who is serious about their goals, respectful, and willing to be honest. 2. Set clear expectations. Agree on how often you'll communicate, what you'll discuss, and how you'll handle missed commitments. 3. Be consistent. Check in weekly or even daily. The more frequent the communication, the stronger the accountability. 4. Celebrate wins together. When one of you achieves a milestone, celebrate it. This reinforces the habit of consistency. 5. Support each other during setbacks. Don't shame each other for missing a step. Instead, encourage each other to get back on track. An accountability partner isn't just someone to report to, they're a teammate. And having someone in your corner can make all the difference between giving up and pushing through. Joining a community or group. Another powerful way to build accountability is to join a group or community. This could be a workout class, a book club, a mastermind group, or an online forum related to your goal. Being part of a group creates a sense of belonging. It gives you access to shared knowledge, and it provides structure, because when you show up to a group setting, you're more likely to participate. Here's why communities work. 1. Shared energy. Being around others who are focused on similar goals creates momentum. You feed off each other's energy. 2. Peer pressure in a good way. When everyone else is showing up, you feel motivated to do the same. 3. Collective learning. You gain insights from others' experiences, which helps you avoid common mistakes. 4. Consistency through routine. Groups often meet on set days and times, making it easier to build a habit. Whether it's a gym, a meditation group, a professional network, or an online course, it's worth finding a place where you feel connected and supported. Because sometimes all it takes is knowing that others are counting on you to keep going. Using technology for accountability. In today's digital world, technology offers powerful tools to help you stay accountable. There are apps, trackers, and platforms designed specifically to help you build habits and maintain consistency. Here are some examples. Habit tracking apps. Use apps like Habitica, Streaks, or Habitbull to track your daily habits and see your progress over time. Fitness trackers. Wearables like Fitbit, Apple Watch, or Whoop monitor your activity, sleep, and heart rate, giving you real-time feedback. Progress photos and journals. Take regular pictures or write in a journal to visually track your transformation. Seeing change over time motivates you to continue. Public commitments. Post your goals on social media. Announce your intentions to friends or followers. Knowing that others are watching increases your sense of responsibility. Email reminders. Set up automated emails to remind you of your goals. Use services like followupthen.com to send yourself motivational messages. Technology doesn't replace human interaction, but it does provide constant reinforcement. And sometimes, all you need is a gentle nudge to keep going. Setting up your own system of accountability. If you don't have a coach, a partner, or a group, you can still create your own system of accountability. Here's how. 1. Write down your goals. Put them somewhere visible. Seeing them regularly keeps you focused. 2. Schedule check-ins with yourself. Block time on your calendar once a week to review your progress. 3. Use a vision board. Create a visual representation of what you want to achieve. Place it where you'll see it daily. 4th. Record voice memos. Talk out loud about your progress. Hearing yourself speak reinforces your commitment. 5. Keep a success journal. Write down your wins, no matter how small. Reviewing them boosts confidence and motivation. Self-imposed accountability may require more effort, but it builds inner strength, and over time, you develop the ability to rely on yourself, even when no one else is watching. Making it public. The power of sharing your goals. There's a psychological effect called the commitment and consistency principle. It says that once you make a public declaration, you're more likely to follow through. Because humans don't like to go back on their word, especially when others are watching. So here's a simple strategy. Tell people what you're trying to accomplish. Announce it on social media. Send a message to a few close friends. Say it out loud to your family. By sharing your goals, you create a subtle but powerful sense of obligation. And that obligation helps you stay on track, even when your motivation dips. Of course, choose wisely who you share with. Surround yourself with positive, supportive people. Avoid those who discourage or mock your efforts. Because accountability only works when it's coming from the right direction. Rewarding yourself. Positive reinforcement. Accountability isn't just about consequences, it's also about celebration. And that's where rewards come in. Every time you complete a task, hit a milestone, or stick to your routine, you should acknowledge it. Rewards reinforce good behavior. They train your brain to associate discipline with pleasure, not punishment. Here's how to use rewards effectively. 1. Make them meaningful. Choose rewards that truly motivate you, like a favorite meal, a movie night, or a small gift. 2. Tie them to milestones. For example, after 30 days of consistent workouts, buy new shoes. After completing a month of saving money, take a weekend trip. 3. Keep them proportionate. Don't reward a small win with something too big. Balance is key. 4. Celebrate progress, not perfection. Reward effort, not just results. Even partial success deserves recognition. Positive reinforcement turns discipline into something enjoyable. And when discipline feels good, you're much more likely to keep doing it. Dealing with failure. What to do when you fall off track. No matter how strong your accountability system is, there will be moments when you fall off track. Maybe you miss a workout, skip a day of journaling, Forget to check in with your accountability partner. Or maybe you binge watch Netflix instead of reading. And when that happens, many people give up. They say, I failed. I'm not cut out for this. But here's the truth. Falling off track is normal. Getting back on track is what matters. So, what do you do when you slip up? 1. Acknowledge it without judgment. Instead of beating yourself up, accept that it happened. You're human. 2. Reflect on what went wrong. Was it lack of planning, too much stress, a bad environment? Learn from it. 3. Reset and recommit. Decide to start again. Not tomorrow. Today. 4. Adjust your system. Make changes to prevent the same mistake from happening again. 5. Forgive yourself. Let go of guilt. Move forward with renewed intention. Failure isn't the end. It's a lesson. And the faster you return to your routine, the stronger your discipline becomes. Building a lifelong habit of accountability. Creating accountability isn't just about getting through 6 months of discipline. It's about building a mindset that carries you through life. Because accountability doesn't disappear after 6 months. It becomes part of who you are. You become someone who follows through, who shows up, who honors their word. And as you grow, your methods of accountability may evolve. You might switch coaches, change accountability partners, join new groups, try different apps, but the core remains the same. You are committed to being the kind of person who does what they say they'll do. And that kind of person doesn't just succeed for 6 months, they succeed for life. Final thoughts. You are capable of more than you think. Creating accountability is not a sign of weakness, it's a sign of wisdom. Because you understand that discipline needs support, that motivation fades, that humans thrive with connection, and that the best version of yourself emerges when you have systems in place to help you stay on track. So now it's time to take action. Find your coach. Pick your accountability partner. Join your group. Set up your tracker. Make your commitment public. And above all, believe in yourself. Because you already have everything you need to succeed. All you have to do is give yourself 6 months of discipline. Just 6 months. And in that time, you'll become someone completely different. Someone who shows up. Someone who follows through. Someone who lives the life they've always wanted. And it all starts with accountability. Section 21. Overcoming procrastination. How to stop delaying and start doing. You know what you need to do. You've made a plan. You've set goals. You've built routines. You've even created accountability. But still, there's that moment when it's time to take action. And you hesitate. You open your laptop. But instead of working, you scroll through social media. You have a project due tomorrow, but you decide to watch just one more episode. You want to go for a run, but you tell yourself, I'll start tomorrow. That's procrastination. And it's one of the biggest obstacles standing between you and the life you want. So let's talk about how to overcome it. Because if you want to give yourself 6 months of discipline for a completely different life, you must learn how to stop delaying and start doing. Now, not later, right now. What is procrastination? And why does it happen? Procrastination is not laziness. It's not a lack of motivation. It's not a personality flaw. Procrastination is an emotional response. We delay tasks because they make us feel uncomfortable. Fear, boredom, overwhelm, uncertainty. These feelings trigger our brain's avoidance mechanism. And so we choose short-term relief over long-term success. We check emails instead of writing a report. We clean the kitchen instead of studying. We binge watch shows instead of working on our business. And in the moment, it feels good. But later, regret sets in, guilt follows, self-doubt creeps in, and the cycle continues. So to break free from procrastination, we must understand its root causes and then build strategies to overcome them. The 5 main causes of procrastination. Understanding why you procrastinate is the first step to overcoming it. Here are the 5 most common reasons people delay action. 1. Fear of failure. Many people avoid starting something because they're afraid they won't do it perfectly. The fear of falling short keeps them stuck. 2. Lack of clarity. When a task isn't clearly defined or broken down into steps, it feels overwhelming. And when things feel too big, we put them off. 3. Low energy or poor health. If you're tired, stressed, or not taking care of your body, it's harder to find the energy to act. Physical health directly impacts mental performance. 4th, poor environment. Distractions like noise, clutter, social media, and technology can pull your attention away from what matters most. 5. A lack of immediate consequences. Since most goals don't have instant consequences for skipping a day, we convince ourselves there's always tomorrow. But tomorrow never comes. Recognizing which of these applies to you gives you power. Once you understand the cause, you can design a solution. Strategy 1. Break tasks into smaller steps. One of the best ways to fight procrastination is to make tasks feel smaller. Your brain avoids big, vague goals, like write a book or start a business, because they feel impossible. But if you break those goals into small, actionable steps, they become manageable. Instead of write a book, try day 1, write 100 words. Day 2, outline chapter 1. Day 3, research key points for chapter 1. Day 4, write the first paragraph. Day 5, review and edit. Suddenly it doesn't seem so hard. The same goes for any goal. Break it down. Make it simple. Start with the smallest possible action. Because once you begin, even with something tiny, the momentum carries you forward. And that's how you beat procrastination. Strategy 2. Use the 2-minute rule. This strategy comes from productivity expert David Allen, author of Getting Things Done. Here's the rule. If a task takes less than 2 minutes, do it immediately. Why? Because putting off small tasks creates mental clutter, and mental clutter leads to overwhelm. So next time you see a quick email to reply to, a phone call to make, a dish to wash, or a file to organize, just do it now. Don't add it to your to-do list. Don't schedule it for later. Just do it. By clearing out the little things right away, you keep your mind focused on what really matters, and that makes it easier to start the bigger tasks too. Strategy 3. Create a starting-only rule. Sometimes, the hardest part of any task is getting started. So here's a powerful trick. Tell yourself you only have to start, not finish, not work for hours, just start. Set a timer for 5 minutes. Sit down at your desk. Open your document. Read 1 page. Do 1 rep. Once you begin, the resistance fades, and more often than not, you keep going. Because action creates momentum. So whenever you feel yourself resisting, remind yourself, I'm not committing to finishing this. I'm just committing to starting. And that simple mindset shift can get you moving. Strategy 4. Eliminate distractions before you begin. Most procrastination happens before you even begin a task. You sit down to work, but within minutes, you're checking your phone, browsing the web, or scrolling through social media. Distractions steal your focus and derail your progress. So here's what to do. Before you start working, eliminate as many distractions as possible. Here are some practical steps. Turn off notifications on your phone. Use apps like Freedom or Focus at will to block distracting websites. Close unnecessary browser tabs. Put your phone in another room. Set boundaries with family or housemates. Let them know you're unavailable during work time. Create a dedicated workspace, even if it's just a corner of your home. A distraction-free environment makes it easier to stay focused, and staying focused means less procrastination. Strategy 5. Practice self-compassion. Many people procrastinate because they're afraid of not being good enough. They worry their work won't be perfect, so they avoid starting altogether. But here's the truth. Perfection is the enemy of progress, and self-criticism only makes procrastination worse. So instead of judging yourself harshly when you fall behind, practice self-compassion. Talk to yourself like you would to a friend. Ask yourself, what's making me hesitate? Is this task really as hard as I think it is? Can I just start with one small step? Remind yourself that you're allowed to make mistakes. You're allowed to write a bad first draft. You're allowed to mess up your workout. You're allowed to take breaks. Progress is more important than perfection. And when you treat yourself with kindness, not criticism, you actually feel more motivated to act.